2 मिनट का मूवमेंट करेंगे. Thank you so much. I see that we're all suggestible already. I suggested coming forward, and I see many of you listening to my suggestion as well. So thank you so much. Oh, I see wonderful students sitting here. What standard is this? I'm counting on you to be psychologists then. Psychiatrists, psychologists, mental health professionals, psychiatric social workers, make your pick. We have a lot of these. Next year, you have career fair happening upstairs as well. In case you missed this time, we are also hosting a career fair. We're introducing you to the myriad of professionals. It's not just clinical and counseling psychology when we think about psychology. There's also sports, organizational, academic, research. We also have industrial psychologists, art-based therapists, somatic-based therapists, you name it, we are introducing you to all of them. So for the wonderful young minds here, do explore, dip your fingers, your hands, and your entire self with mental health today. All right, we have a wonderful performance for you. Can I get some smiles? Yes? I'll force you to smile. And with that, smile. 1, 2, 3. Now. And why? Because facial feedback hypothesis suggests that even in your worst mental state, if you just smile, the fact that your face is smiling, you experience that mental state. तो जब बोलते हैं ना कि उदास हो चलो मुस्कुरा दो, चिढ़ना नहीं, साइकोलॉजी है उसके पीछे, theory है उसके पीछे, right? And with that, I hand it over to my wonderful team. Thank you for listening to me.
So, hello everyone. Do we have art enthusiasts here? Can we clap? Can we do this? Can we do this? We can? Is anyone sleepy? Yes? No? Okay, fine. So, hello my fellows art enthusiasts. Welcome to Spill It Out, where art isn't just a canvas, it's a conversation. This exhibition is a visual symphony of emotions, an unfiltered spill of creativity and the journey into the unspoken. Okay. We invite you to immerse yourself in the world of live performances where imagination takes flight and emotion comes to life and stories unfold on the stage. We welcome the theatre team here.
तुमने तो हमारी सांसें रोक दी, तुमने तो केवल रास्ता रोका।
गाड़ी चलाते वक्त लड़की को देखकर सीटी बजाते हो, कहीं कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाता तो?
मैडम सीटी ही तो बजाई है, इसमें कौन सा क्राइम कर दिया?
लोग देखते, घूरते, उसके बाद पूछते हमने कौन सा क्राइम कर दिया। अपनी आंखों से सामने वाले को नंगा कर देते, उसके कपड़े उतार देते, फिर कहते देखा ही तो है। सीटी बजाते हैं, गाना गाते,
जहां लड़कियों को पैदा होने से पहले ही मार दिया जाता। ऐसा समाज जहां लड़कियों के साथ कदम कदम पर भेदभाव किया जाता। स्कूल में, ऑफिस में, मायके में, ससुराल में। ऐसा समाज जहां लड़कियों को दहेज के नाम पर डराया जाता हो, उन्हें जिंदा जलाया जाता हो। ऐसा समाज जहां लड़कियों के साथ खुलेआम छेड़खानी की जाती हो। चली जवानी तेरी चाल मस्तान, मेरे कदर ना जानी ना, ओए रानी, ओए रानी।
मैंने तुमसे कितनी बार कहा है कि मेरा पीछा मत किया करो।
तो मैंने भी तो तुमसे कितनी बार कहा है कि तुम हो इतनी खूबसूरत कि मुझसे रहा नहीं जाता।
देखो, मैंने तुम्हें कई बार इग्नोर किया और अब मेरी शादी होने वाली। अगर तुमने अब मुझे परेशान किया तो मैं अपने पेरेंट्स से तुम्हारी कंप्लेन कर दूंगी।
इतनी छोटी सी बात के लिए मम्मी पापा के पास जाने की क्या जरूरत है? तुम्हारी शादी होने वाली है ना? ठीक है, मैं तुम्हारा परमानेंट मेकअप कर देता हूँ, तुम्हें और भी खूबसूरत बना देता हूँ। इसके साथ शादी करेंगे। हमने कुछ नहीं देखा, हमने कुछ नहीं देखा, हमने कुछ नहीं देखा।
जब भी कोई लड़की किसी लड़के का ऑफर एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती, या फिर उससे बात नहीं करती, या फिर उस पर गोली मार दी जाती है, या फिर उस पर तेजाब फेंक दिया जाता है। गोली मारना, तेजाब फेंकना, ब्लेड से काटना, पेट्रोल डालकर जिंदा जला देना हमारे देश में आम हो चुका है। देश के बड़े बड़े लोग कहते हैं कि लड़कियां अंधेरा होने के बाद घर से बाहर निकलेंगी तो छेड़खानी तो होगी ही, बलात्कार भी होगा। कुछ लोग तो ये भी कहते हैं कि लड़कियां छोटे कपड़े पहनती हैं, लड़कियां लड़कों को उकसाती हैं, इसलिए ये सब होता है। मैं आप लोगों से पूछता हूँ, उस 80 साल की बुढ़िया ने कौन से कम कपड़े पहने थे? 6 महीने की लड़की ने किसको उकसाया था जो उसके साथ बलात्कार हुआ? ऐसा क्यों है कि हम हर बार लड़कियों की अस्मिता पर इस सवाल उठाते हैं? घर के अंदर, मोहल्ले, गली में, बस में, मेट्रो में, मॉल में, या फिर किसी भी पब्लिक प्लेस में जब भी किसी महिला के साथ यौन हिंसा हो रही होती है, या फिर कोई लड़का किसी लड़की को छेड़ रहा होता है या उससे मजे लेने की कोशिश कर रहा होता है, तो हम सब अपनी आंखें क्यों फेर लेते हैं? हम किसी लड़की या औरत पर कमेंट पास करने से पहले ये क्यों नहीं सोचते कि हमारे इस तरह के व्यवहार से, बदतमीजी से उनके दिल और दिमाग पर क्या गुजरती होगी?
क्या कभी किसी छेड़ने वाले ने यह सोचा कि उसका 1 मिनट का मनोरंजन किसी लड़की को इमोशनली और फिजिकली कितना मजबूर कर देता है?
एक बार, सिर्फ एक बार खुद को हम लड़कियों की जगह पर रखकर देखो, पता चल जाएगा कुछ ना कर पाने की कसक क्या होती है।
हम लड़कियों को फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पेस और फ्रीडम ऑफ मूवमेंट तक कहने को तैयार नहीं है। आखिर क्यों?
एक बार सोचिए, आदमियों के इस तरह के व्यवहार से कितना टूटती, कितना सहमती और कितना डरती है लड़कियां।
दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा, जानदारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा। दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा, आशा पावे तो शंका लाने पे क्या मौसम।
घटनाएं रोजाना घटती हैं। हम टीवी में देखते हैं, रेडियो पर सुनते हैं, अखबार में पढ़ते हैं और फिर भूल जाते हैं। सोचते हैं कि हमारे साथ तो ऐसा कभी कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। लेकिन 2.5 साल की बच्ची से लेकर 90 साल की बूढ़ी औरत के साथ यौन हिंसा होती है। उसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? पुलिस, प्रशासन, सरकार या फिर हम और आप सब?
सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर की एक कविता है। वो मेरे शहर में आए, लोगों को मारने लगे, मैंने कुछ नहीं कहा। वो मेरे मोहल्ले में आए, मैं चुप रहा। जब वो मेरी गली में आए, मैंने आंखें बंद कर ली। पर जब वो मेरे घर आए तो मुझे बचाने वाला कोई नहीं। हमारी चुप्पी, हमारी उदासीनता ऐसे अपराधों को बढ़ावा देती है। जरूरत है आगे बढ़कर बोलने की, आवाज उठाने की, रिएक्ट करने की, एक्शन लेने की।
यदि आपके आसपास स्कूल में, कॉलेज में कोई भी लड़की किसी भी लड़के के बारे में शिकायत करती है तो उसकी बात को सुने, न कि उसे नजरअंदाज कर दें।
अगर आपकी बहन या दोस्त या कॉलेज में कोई भी लड़की किसी भी रिलेटिव या किसी भी पड़ोसी के बारे में कोई भी शिकायत करती है तो आप उसकी बात को सुने, ना कि उसे नजरअंदाज कर दें।
फिजिकल अब्यूज करने वाले कोई प्रोफेशनल क्रिमिनल्स नहीं होते। वो कोई भी हो सकता है, हमारा दोस्त, पड़ोसी, रिश्तेदार, यहाँ तक कि हमारा खुद का भाई भी।
अपराध सहना और अपराध को देखकर भी चुप रहना अपने आप में एक सामाजिक और कानूनी अपराध है।
यदि आपके आसपास गली मोहल्ले में, बस में, मेट्रो में या किसी भी पब्लिक प्लेस पर जब भी किसी लड़की या महिला के साथ छेड़खानी, मारपीट, प्रताड़ना, घरेलू या यौन हिंसा होती है तो ये मत सोचिए कौन क्या करेगा या कौन क्या सोचेगा। खुद आगे बढ़िए और एक्शन लीजिए। पुलिस और स्थानीय लोगों का साथ लेकर उनके मामले में दखल दीजिए। समाज के बंद दरवाजों पर एक दस्तक दें।
हम लड़कियों को बहुत कुछ सिखाते हैं। दुपट्टा ऐसे ओढ़ो, ऐसे लोगों से बात करो, ऐसे लोगों से दोस्ती मत करो, अंधेरा होने के बाद घर से बाहर मत जाना, अगर जाना पड़े तो अपने भाई को साथ लेकर जाना, ये कर वो कर, ऐसे उठ ऐसे बैठ। हम अपने घरों में लड़कों को क्यों नहीं समझाते, क्यों नहीं सिखाते कि समाज में लड़कियों को इज्जत, बराबरी, सम्मान और आजादी कैसे दी जाती है? इसकी शुरुआत हमें खुद से करनी होगी।
बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ जैसे नारों से ज्यादा जरूरी है बेटों को समझाओ। बेटे समझ गए तो बेटियां पढ़ भी जाएंगी और पढ़ लिखकर अपने माँ बाप का सहारा भी बनेगी। 1947 में हम सबको संविधान ने बराबर का हक दिया था। तो हम मर्द कौन होते हैं औरतों की आजादी को नियंत्रित करने वाले? शुरुआत हमें खुद से करनी होगी। अपनी आंखें और कान खुले रखिए और समाज में छिपे ऐसे सफेद पोश भेड़ियों से सावधान रहिए। एक बात याद रखिए, अगर किसी भी लड़की के साथ ऐसा कुछ भी होता है तो उसकी जिम्मेदार वो लड़की नहीं होती, जिम्मेदार होते हैं हम और आप सब, जो सब कुछ देखकर भी अपनी आंखें और कान सिर्फ इसलिए बंद कर लेते हैं कि कहीं हमें कोर्ट कचहरी या पुलिस स्टेशन के चक्कर ना काटने पड़ जाए। नतीजा, सबूतों के अभाव में या फिर कुछ नहीं दिखाया वो जो होता है हम नहीं दिखा रहे हैं, तो कुछ भी कोई सजेशन देना चाहता है जैसे
हमें अपनी आवाज़ उठानी चाहिए, ऐसे किसी गलत काम अपराध हो रहा है।
बहुत अच्छा आवाज़ उठानी चाहिए। ये सही बात है कि कुछ भी अगर गलत हो रहा है तो अगर हम अपनी आवाज़ उठाते हैं तभी उसमें बदलाव होगा। अगर हम अनदेखा नहीं करना है। कई बार होता है कि हमें लगता है कि चलो यहाँ हमारी बहन थोड़ी है, हम घर चले जाते हैं, हो सकता है कल आपकी बहन वहाँ खड़ी हो और कोई और चला जाए, तो बेहतर है कि अगर कहीं भी आप गलत होते हुए देखें तो आवाज़ उठाएं, उसके साथ खड़े हैं। सिर्फ इसी बारे में नहीं, दुनिया में बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो रही है जो गलत हो रही है, सिर्फ लड़कियों के साथ नहीं लड़कों के साथ भी गलत होती है। ये नाटक हाँ
was wonderful presentation and to be really honest जो यहाँ से सीख लेके हम जा रहे हैं आई थिंक वी ऑल मस्ट थिंक ऑन दिस कि जो चीज़ यहाँ पे देखने में इतनी इफेक्टिवली आई थिंक हम सबके रोंगटे खड़े हो गए काफ़ी लोग ऐसे रो भी रहे थे बट रियलिटी में हम उस स्टेज पे ना पहुँचे कि हम रोने का वेट करें और हम ये रियलाइजेशन की जब हम अगेन एज यू सेड कि हम तब तक का वेट नहीं करें कि हमारे घर तक बात पहुँचे और वी एम्पैथाइज विद पीपल जिनके साथ होता है एंड आई रियली लाइक दैट स्टेटमेंट की लड़की की जगह रह के देखो तो वेट मत करो कि अपने घर पे होगा पड़ोस में होगा तब हम आवाज़ उठाएंगे बिकॉज वहाँ तक आते आते फिर चीज़ इतनी आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल हो जाती है कि खुद कुछ स्टेप उठा सके उतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं बचती
लड़कों को सिखाइए।
जी, ये भी सच है कि हाँ लड़कों को समझाने की ज़रूरत है और ज़रूरी नहीं है कि लड़के जो बड़े हैं उनको, हम अपने घर में छोटे छोटे बच्चों को ही बताएंगे क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, तो शायद अभी वाली जनरेशन जो होगी हमसे बेहतर होगी। तो बात सिर्फ यही खत्म नहीं होती, यहाँ से नाटक शुरू होता है, हम नाटक करके चले जाते हैं, अच्छा लगता है लोगों को। अगर नाटक आप लोग भूल गए तो हमारे नाटक करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है। अगर इस नाटक से आप कुछ सीख के जाते हैं तो हमारे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा है। हमें इस नाटक करने की ज़रूरत ना पड़े कहीं भी। हम 15 साल से नाटक बहुत ज़्यादा कर चुके हैं और हम हर बार सोचते हैं कि ये नाटक आखिरी होना चाहिए। आज के बाद हमें कोई कहीं न्यूज़पेपर में ना पढ़ने को मिले उस लड़की के साथ ये हो गया, उस लड़के के साथ ये हो गया। तो हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आज से शुरुआत करें। यहाँ इतने लोग बैठे, अगर अपने आप से शुरुआत करेंगे तो हर चीज़ बदल सकती है। तो दुनिया में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो हम बदल नहीं सकते। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें यहाँ पर
What a great energy packed performance. I'm sure जिसको नींद आ भी रही थी अब तो उड़ गई होगी, है ना guys? Yes? Yes, right? Great. Thank you so much Asmita for this lovely act and we invite Dr. Nishat and Sanjay sir to extend a token of appreciation to the team.
Moving ahead, we now invite our next guest, who was also here with us in the panel today to share their valuable insights. As a mental health practitioner, it's none other than Richa Vashish. Let's welcome them with a round of applause for their activity Rainbow Exploration. Welcome, ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Should I stand front here? Hello, hi. Can you all hear me okay? ठीक है. What we saw before this was very intense. So I am a little like बहुत देख लिया. I don't know about you all, but मेरे लिए काफ़ी कुछ था. It was very impactful. Okay, cool. So मेरा नाम ऋचा वशिष्ठ है. मेरे pronouns she and they है. मैं एक psychologist हूँ और I've been working in this field for almost 10 years. I am a queer person, so most of my conversations are about all things gay. क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि मैं नहीं बात करूँगी इसके बारे में तो कौन बात करेगा. And I think I also come from a space कि जब मैं पढ़ रही थी, there was very little conversations about how to support queer people. I think homosexuality के ऊपर बस एक chapter थी कि ये एक disorder है, ये abnormal है, which is pretty weird because I was queer and I was reading things about myself in a textbook, abnormal psychology. So I am here right now to do an experiential activity on what it means to probably just live or understand one day as a queer person. ठीक है? Are we ready for this? Okay. So what I will request you to do is just sit in a comfortable posture and just like not hold anything in your hand. Bags नीचे कर दो, कोई नहीं उठा के लेके जाएगा. अगर कोई लेके जाएगा तो मेरी गलती नहीं है. I can't do anything about it. Okay. All right. I hope we can trust the people around us to be able to just shut our eyes for a bit क्योंकि हम एक visualization करने वाले हैं, just to be able to understand queer people and their experiences better. So are we sitting in a comfortable position? Okay, all right. So let's just slowly close our eyes. And let's take a deep breath. So let's focus a little bit on regulation. Breathe in from your lungs, a deep breath. And breathe out from your mouth. Again, do this for about 2 to 3 times. Breathing in from your lungs. Notice that your lungs are expanding. And breathing out from your mouth. Now imagine you are sitting in front of your cupboard. आप अपने cupboard के सामने बैठे हो and you are trying to pick your favorite outfit. ठीक है? Imagine करो कि आपके सामने बहुत सारे कपड़े हैं and you are trying to pick that favorite outfit. And you find this lovely shirt, or dress, anything, and you're just like, अरे हाँ, ये बहुत सही है. I'm going to wear this. Now picture yourself in that outfit, whatever that outfit it is. It's your favorite outfit, so picture yourself in it. What would it feel like for you? Does it feel like कि हाँ इसमें I'm going to look very nice. I'm going to feel very authentic, feeling like myself क्योंकि this outfit makes me feel that way. Now I want you to imagine something different. Imagine if you were not allowed to wear this outfit. Imagine if तुम्हारे अड़ोस पड़ोस आके तुमको बोलते हैं कि ये तुम पे अच्छा नहीं दिखता है, ये तुम नहीं पहन सकते हो, ये तुम्हारे जैसे लोगों के लिए अच्छा नहीं दिखता है, like it doesn't suit you. This is not something that you're supposed to wear. Someone takes that outfit and throws it away without your permission. How is that making you feel? That favorite outfit that you're not allowed to wear anymore, how is that making you feel? How does it feel when someone tells you that you're not allowed to be yourself? Sit with that discomfort. and question ourselves on what it would mean for a lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer person who is not allowed to express their gender identity because they're not allowed to wear that favorite outfit. Let's slowly open our eyes. Let's acquaint ourselves with things around us. Let's look to our right. Let's look to our left. Are we feeling acquainted with our surrounding? Okay. This was one experience of when somebody is not allowed to express themselves with their gender identity. Now let's try exploring another example, right? So let's again slowly close our eyes. Let's again focus on breathing because it's very important while we're doing uncomfortable things, we also focus on breath work. So let's take a deep breath. Breathing in from the lungs. Notice your lungs expanding. And breathing out from your mouth. Do this for another 2-3 times. Okay. Now imagine that you are invited for a friend's wedding. You're invited for a friend's wedding and you would like to take your partner with you. And you're excited, you've discussed your outfits with each other, and you're really looking forward on taking your partner with you. And then you realize your friend comes and tells you that your partner is not invited. Why? Because your partner is not a very stereotypically accepted partner for an Indian wedding, right? So think about that. How would that make us feel where we are not allowed to take this one person who we really love for a friend's wedding? Maybe this would be an opportunity for people to meet my partner, but I'm not allowed to take her. Focus on the discomfort. What's coming up for you? How are you feeling about it? How does that impact your sense of self? Are you going to look at your friend the same way again? How are you going to tell your partner that she's no more invited for that wedding? That is another experience on queer people's lives. So let's slowly come back again into the here and now. Let's look around. What are some things that we notice around us? Can we see people around us, people we know? Let's maybe just hold each other's hands if we're comfortable. Whatever we're comfortable with. So the second example that I shared with you was something that was very personal because ये मेरे साथ तो बहुत बार हो चुका है कि my friends would never invite my +1 क्योंकि my +1 was not a man. And I used to feel very unfair, and every time I attend a wedding, I always come back feeling very dysregulated because it feels very unfair. But these were just two examples, and I don't want to overwhelm us enough because I feel like the experience before this was also quite intense. So I'm just going to stop at these two examples, just something for us to think about ki as queer people with something very basic as gender expression, how we would like to wear our favorite outfit, how we would like to take our partner along with us to different places, but in the society that we live in, it's not possible to do so. So that was about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Richa. I know this was very short noticed, but at the same time doing a human right theme didn't feel right without covering the rainbow that we have of gender identity. So thank you so much for doing this. Could I invite Dr. Nans to come and please facilitate Richa? Could I also invite Miss Ashima Narula on the stage? Miss Ashima Narula. All right, we'll do another round of facilitation soon then. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. All right, how are we feeling? How are we feeling? Outside, we have a section or segment called How You Doing? Right? Who knows what that means? How you doing? All right, so in the next 30 seconds before we set up, check in with yourself. Give it one word. How are you doing? It can be overwhelmed. We really spoke about very sensitive topics right now. And if you felt it, it possibly means that you're in touch with your emotions, which we want. It's healthy. So when I say mental health, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be happy all the time. Be sad when something is absolutely sad. Be authentically angry when something really wrongs you. Be devastated as well, but come back up again. Right? So now check in with yourself. How are you doing? Sensitive is okay, sad is fine, overwhelmed is fine. If we touched upon your identity with Richa's activity, feeling a little on the edge is also okay. Feeling anxious is also okay. Right? And with that, check in with yourself. Keep that in your pocket, and I'll do another check-in in a brief while. Thank you. I am the uninvited person on stage. Last time my mother was here. This time she's not. Describing the festival, my mama said, कभी भी आ जाती है stage पे. ये वो लड़की है जो कभी भी stage पे आ जाती है, because I have a beautiful, wonderful team that I lead, who are young volunteers, who are people of 16 years and onwards. So हमारा age bracket is, this festival is brought to you by students who are 16 years to 21 years of age. And knowing the scale of this event and knowing the hard work that it takes. I was once there, then I was them, and now I'm here. It takes 10 years to do that. I'm hoping you guys do it sooner than me. But it takes a little more than just a lot of back-end work as well to come to this stage and do things. Do I have my team? Yes? All right. They'll take another minute. In that minute, I will speak with you. Okay? Now, as I speak with you, can I ask you of the first memory of any emotion that you felt in the last 2 hours? कोई एक memory last 2 घंटे में कोई भी emotion feel किया, चाहे वो frustration ही क्यों ना, भूख लगी थी, and that's okay, right? Now let me invite you to think about one memory that stands out to you in the last 1 month. कोई भी एक ऐसा इवेंट पूरे सितंबर में से जो उठ कर आता है कि अच्छा ये महसूस किया था. One memory in September. Scan through your time. कर लिया? Give me a thumbs up अगर कर लिया तो. Cool? आ गई यार. One memory in the year 2023. कोई भी जो first memory pop out करे. One memory. आ गई यार? Yes? What is most common in these three things that you just remembered? What is the commonality? जोर से बोलो. तीनों अलग थे, ओके. और अनएक्सपेक्टेड थे, ओके, ऑल राइट. और क्या था? हाइलाइट्स थे, ठीक है, ऑल राइट. We are not feeling that anymore, but I'll hold on to the word feeling. Even as I remind you of the first thing that you can think of in the last 2 hours, in the last 1 month, in the last 1 year, the first thing that pops into your head is how you felt, right? And this is why feelings are most important to tap into, because आपकी life आपको याद रहेगी ही नहीं अगर वो emotion में tapped ना हो. So अगर आप अपनी life के बारे में सोचते हैं, let's say I am 26, I think about my life and I'm happy. It necessarily means I have a list of happy events to go back to. If you are, let's say, 18, 20, 40, 45, and you look back, and those are generally saddish memories, that means that's your primary emotion. Now that we have identified your primary emotion of last 1 year, sit with yourself tonight, write a letter to that emotion. Dear happiness, dear frustration, 12th के boards चल रहे हैं. Dear anxiety, and all of that is okay, and explore what comes up to you. And that's my giveaway as a therapist to you in exploring your emotions, and we're ready to start. Thank you for bearing with me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really insightful. And now we would like to start with the Q&A round. And we would like to invite Ekta Khurana. She is a counseling psychologist. Her focus areas include anxiety, depression, stress management, relationship concerns, self-esteem issues, confidence building, major life transitions. Her expertise lies in assisting individuals to navigate through the issues. She also enjoys guiding people to solve their problems on their own. An emphasis on the importance of the self-awareness. She believes that there is more to learn about oneself to continue growing and assist her clients in the self-discovery journey. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Vrinchi Sharma. He is a director, consultant, psychiatrist at Manasa Hospital, Hyderabad. Corporate speaker and an influencer. He has also secured the first prize in the Indian Psychiatric Society state level quiz.
I would like to invite Sanya Bedi. She is a counseling psychologist and a mental health advocate. Most of us are familiar with her by Instagram, which is Therapy by Sanya, a page that provides insights into a therapeutic space. Next speaker I would like to invite is Dr. Madhur Rathi. He's passionate about exploring the mysteries of the mind in illness and wellness. Believes in holistic approach to mental illness, working on both mind and body. Believes that there is no complete health without mental health.
Now I would like to introduce our moderator, Mr. Abhinav Singh, Assistant Professor at Daulat Ram College, University of Delhi, PhD Research Scholar at Department of Psychology, University of Delhi, and Project Lead of Flagship Project of MHFI, MI Hope, that is Mind, Healthcare, Online Program and Education since August 2020. Welcome.
You have the questions ready? Okay. Very warm afternoon, and I hope you all are enjoying yourself. And as peculiar with time I am, so let's go directly into the work and get into the scheme of things. So what I would prefer is we will follow the same pattern as we had followed for the previous Q&A, and everybody will get some time to introduce their purpose of, influencing and blending the mental health with their own career trajectories, and also bringing in an element of an experiential, a phenomenal aspect of what you give to the field, right? And then I think we have a couple of questions, and then if we can take one or two from the audience. So over to you, and I think we can start with ma'am.
Hi guys, my name is Ekta Khurana and I'm a counseling psychologist and also a content creator. So basically, I had my own set of issues back before. Self-esteem ko leke and more of confidence, or parents and this and that, like typical Indian child. वो सारे issues थे. But through my content, basically from my content, I want to aware kids, adults, parents, professionals and everyone. Matlab, mera basic, that called funda of life is to aware people as much as I can. Because I believe awareness is the half healing. अगर हम अपने belief system को life is all about learning, then unlearning, relearning, and in my own life journey मैंने खुद भी unlearn, relearn बहुत कुछ किया है. So again I want to tell you all कि be open to new experience, be open to new learnings, unlearn something and then relearn it. Yeah, so that's my purpose of basically creating content. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Virinchi Sharma. I'm a consultant psychiatrist from Hyderabad. Well, my journey was pretty dramatic. Till my 10th, I was very good in my mathematics. All of a sudden, I chose science. I lost my best friend in my 11th. He met with an accident. I failed in my 12th. Nobody understood why all of this could be happening. I wrote my exams again, I prepared for the MCET, and then I cracked a medical seat. And everybody thought, oh, everything is fine now. And then if they're doctors here, they should be knowing, in the first year of medicine, we have 3 subjects: anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. I failed in all the 3 subjects. And back then, though my dad did not tell me, he apparently told my mom. This was in 2005. So my dad said, probably in the next 10 years, if he could finish this 4.5-year-old course, probably at least we can get him married. There'll be somebody who will agree to at least get married to him because he has a degree. Long story short, 2015, I was the state topper in Telangana in the field of psychiatry. And things moved from there. I was very aggressive because I was a state topper, and then it was very funny again. My dad's a psychiatrist too, so I started practicing with him. And for the first 6 months, there was nobody who wanted to come and see me. And then I said, I will see patients for free. And still people didn't want to come and see me. I was very jobless then, and I would write down mails to a lot of corporates saying, I will come down and do a free session. And nobody ever accepted me. The reason why I'm telling you all of this is, life is full of ups and downs. There are a lot of failures behind everyone's life. And after all of this, the only thing that I believed in was consistency. I would still go sit in the cabin for a few hours every day, even though there was nobody wanting to come and see me. And things started picking up. People started liking me. People started coming for me. And today, if I'm sitting as a mental health influencer in front of you, that clearly explains how life has given me a lot more than probably what I thought, what I deserve. One reason why I wanted to be an influencer is, there was a story that I remember recently telling in one of my TED Talks. I went to a school and everybody were wearing masks. I went to the school as a chief guest, and everybody were wearing masks, and I asked them, this was a couple of years back, and I asked them, why is everybody wearing a mask? And trust me, the information that every student knew about COVID was as good as what an expert knows. They spoke about vaccines, they spoke about sanitization, they spoke about social distancing, they spoke about variants, and then I asked them if they knew something about mental health. And there was an absolute silence. And hardly there were few words. Somebody said depression, somebody said anxiety. They were hesitant if they should say that or no. And that clearly explains how mental health has not been introduced to them. It's not their mistake. It's their families, it's the schools, which did not prioritize mental health, and it's the education system. And that's when I realized, my job is not just in the four walls in my cabin, but do something outside. And that's a part of why I am an influencer and I'm sitting here today. So thank you so much.
So hello everyone, my name is Sanya and I'm a counseling psychologist based out of Delhi. I'm an army brat. Any children from the military here? Oh, hello. So pretty much an outstanding upbringing, 9 schools all across the country, almost all across the country, 2 years in Bhutan, and coming across as a very super resilient, and I was padhaku type. So I was never like sort of caught ki tum padhte nahi or all that. Went to college, I'm from Delhi University, went there, had a bullying session there, and realized that maybe military children are taught resilience, but that is probably the face that covers trauma at some point in time, So that's when I started my psychology journey. Still, till date, my dad feels that I went into psychology because of peer pressure. I am not able to explain to him that I really wanted to be there because I was a commerce student. But I took that chance, went for my master's, and I started a page in 2019 on Instagram, and it was a fashion influencing page. Clearly it didn't work out because I'm not a fashion influencer now. But one day I had put out a picture of a coffee, and by the way told them that why should you try and not have coffee if you're anxious. And I never got so many likes on any of my pictures. And here everybody was saying, why don't you teach this? What are you doing in the fashion space? You don't know much about it. And that was the beginning of Therapy by Sanya. And the whole idea is to teach or maybe make people aware in a very easy way as to what mental health is, in a very, very simplified way. And right now we have a following of over 30,000, so that's a great achievement for a mental health professional to do that side by side. So yeah, so that's why I'm here. Thank you.
I think there was some announcement to be made. Can you please check that once? Okay, before that, I would like everybody to just stretch yourself once. Can you just like stretch? Yeah, because some people are sitting in their seats, some people are sinking in their seats. And we just want you to be as alert as you can, because we don't have to influence you. By the way, my name is Dr. Madhur Rathi. I go by my Insta page, Dr. Maddie Rathi. मेरी कहानी भी विरिंची सर ने जैसे बोला कि being a psychiatrist, if you are doing MBBS, 15 दिन की internship होती है, and everybody is like, psychiatry क्या लेगा? क्या करेगा तू psychiatry लेके? But what happened with me was, when I was in my UG, I studied psychiatry. In final year, I studied psychiatry for almost 6 to 8 months, only psychiatry. Itna sa subject. Leaving aside medicine, surgery, gynae, pediatrics, everything. Because I was preparing for the quiz, and I cleared zonal level, state level, reached national level, और वो quiz postpone होती जा रही थी, तो मैं पढ़ाई करता जा रहा था. And फिर when I actually ended up choosing my PG branch, as like मेरे नाम में मधुर में मैड तो वैसे भी आता ही है, तो लोग मैड बोलेंगे भी तो क्या ही फ़र्क पड़ेगा. And I was like, इतना साइकेट्री पढ़ लिया तो ले लेते हैं. And today I feel like अगर मैं साइकेट्री नहीं लेता तो पता नहीं, I would have been a very bad any other practitioner, because I love what I do. I love what we get to do as a psychiatrist. क्योंकि there is a part of mental health ना हिब्रू है लोगों के लिए. उनका सकता है कि ये बहुत ही it's something entirely different, हमको applicable नहीं है, right? क्योंकि हमारे पास तो है ही. और ये तो मैं wellness की बात कर रहा हूँ. Illness में जाएंगे तो वो तो completely different ball game है, right? So I'm basically a poet by heart and a psychiatrist by profession and an explorer. I love speaking with people. I love talking to people, and that's exactly why I am in this branch. So because Sanya has brought me here, and yeah, and शी हैज़ रिक्वेस्टेड मी स्पेसिफिकली, तो अगर आप लोग इरशाद बोलेंगे तो मैं एक शेर बोलूँगा. चलो, ये शेर आप चुरा लो, ठीक है? बिकॉज हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस आर मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स ओवर हियर? ठीक है, सो दिस शेर इज एप्लीकेबल टू ऑल मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स. ठीक है, शेर ऐसा है कि मेरा लिखा हुआ है, 2 साल पहले लिखा था, कि परेशान जो भी हैं, परेशान जो भी है वो सब अजीज़ हैं मेरे. परेशान जो भी है वो सब अजीज़ हैं मेरे, मानते हैं नहीं लेकिन मरीज़ है मेरे. एंड आई थिंक दिस अप्लाइज टू ऑल ऑफ अस मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स, क्योंकि लोग मानते ही नहीं हैं, लोग मानते ही नहीं हैं. एंड दैट्स हाउ वी, आई एम नॉट एन इन्फ्लुएंसर, मैं ऑनेस्टली बोलता हूँ मैं इन्फ्लुएंसर नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि आप लोगों में से कितने ने डनिंग क्रूगर इफेक्ट के बारे में सुना है? डनिंग क्रूगर इफेक्ट, राइट? वी मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर फ्रॉम साइकोलॉजी बैकग्राउंड, सो वी नो कि जितना ज़्यादा आपको नॉलेज होता है उतना कम आपका कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाता है. हमको लगता है कि यार इससे भी तो ज़्यादा है, कैसे जाके बोल दे. और इसलिए फिर जो लोगों को कुछ नहीं पता वो आके बिल्कुल फुल कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ में चीज़ें बताने लग जाते हैं, इन्फ्लुएंस करने लग जाते हैं. इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ कि मैं इन्फ्लुएंसर नहीं हूँ, मैं इन्फ्लुएंसर हूँ. इन्फॉर्मेशन बताना मेरा काम है. इन्फ्लुएंस होना है नहीं होना ये बात की बात है, बट लेट्स टेक इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजंस. एंड साइकोलॉजी के बारे में बहुत मिसकंसेप्शन है, साइकेट्री के बारे में तो और ही ज़्यादा, मेडिकेशन की तो बात ही नहीं करते हैं, राइट? एंड आई थिंक वी कैनॉट टॉक अबाउट मेंटल वेलनेस if you are excluding medicines, because there is a part which needs to be treated with medicine, which needs that component to live a better life. इसलिए I started making content around 2 years back about psychiatry, कि psychiatry में होता क्या है, डिप्रेशन के सिम्टम्स क्या होते हैं, एंग्जाइटी के सिम्टम्स क्या होते हैं, कहाँ दवाई लगती है, कहाँ नहीं लगती है, कहाँ पे उसको मिसरिप्रेजेंट किया जा रहा है. एंड दैट इज़ बेसिकली व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट. सो आई लव टू मेक कंटेंट इन एंड अराउंड मेंटल हेल्थ सो दैट लोगों के लिए साइकेट्री और साइकोलॉजी सिंप्लीफाई हो जाए टू सम एक्सटेंट. ओवर टू यू सानिया मैम.
Srishti, just 1 second. I'm really sorry to interrupt the panel. There has been a small addition to the panel, and he's a very important influencer, inviting Knight of Steel among us, Arjun Gupta. Kindly join us on stage. He is a mental health advocate, psychologist, and an expert in men's mental health. And he is very happy to be here and answer your questions. All right, on to Sanya. So sorry to cut you. Oh, okay.
Hi, so this was very last minute for me as well, so I'll just give a very brief introduction about my work. I started working on men's mental health in 2020 when I was to choose a dissertation topic in my bachelor's, and I noticed that there's a very simple discrepancy about about clinical depression rates and the suicide rates. Nearly 70 to 80% of all suicides that occur across the world are completed by men. And yet, there is not enough conversations that happen. There are not enough conversations that happen about the importance of mental health for men. To the point that we have diagnostic criteria which lead to, in my opinion, lead to twice the rates of depression in women than in men. And I feel like there's some discrepancy there that we can work on. That's what my research work focused on. And that's what my content focuses on as well, to make men first of all, more open, more vulnerable, and more accepting of their imperfections, which is not a bad thing in my opinion, as well as make therapy and psychology easier for them and more accessible for them. That's what my work has been in totality. And on the side, I also enjoy teaching research and stats, so if you have any questions about that, I can explain some concepts to you as well. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Are we open to audience questions already? Yeah, if you have some questions.
Sorry, my mother had a medical thing going on. I really had to take it. So the questions from the audience is done. Okay. I actually had some of the questions in my head, and I hope they have asked you the questions from this. Okay, great. So one of the questions which is being pressing, hi, you have introduced yourself? Great, perfect. So just taking a snapshot at things, you should always acknowledge, come on. You know, authenticity of emotion and authenticity of your presence is very important. I could also have said something else, but no. Thank you very much for all of your introduction. I'm sure I know already the King of Steel or Man of Steel, Knight of Steel, okay? I know, I've been following him since a lot of time, and he has advocated for men's mental health. And I really find it very interesting when I teach in the colleges, which is mostly females. Like, for example, in my master's courses, there were like 100 females and 10 boys. One was from Afghanistan and one was from some other place. So Indians were very less. And then उसमें भी वो आते नहीं थे. तो anyways, मैं ही बचता था. तो उस point पे we used to discuss all these things. So one of the questions which I saw is that that how do you manage the need to be liked by everybody, okay, at all times, because social media has to be that you just cannot afford any kind of mass disliking, and mass disliking is equals to mass unfollowing, and there are dangers to that. So in your respective channels, have you faced that kind of a situation when you really had to pull yourself back in releasing a content which is relevant to mental health? And if yes or if not, then how do you navigate that space? So please pick up the mic, and whoever is wishing to answer that, please. Yes, please, ma'am, go ahead.
So, I mean, I have an opinion that it's not about social media or it's not about the following, but in general, if, if one day you're looking amazing and you feel amazing and somebody says, oh, I don't like the color of the suit you're wearing, it doesn't impact you that much. And if one day you believe that, oh, aaj to main bahut hi moti lag rahi hu, then somebody comes and says, oh, looks like you were gymming, right? You're dieting, you're looking so fit. You will never believe that. So it's nothing to do with how many people follow you, how many people like your post, don't like your post. If you believe that your posts are worthwhile, then following, mass unfollowing doesn't really matter. Because I think, at least I speak for myself, I'm not here to, there are of course a lot of influencers, mental health influencers with lakhs and crores of following, but that's not the aim that I started this with. I wanted to simplify it for people to understand what exactly this mental health is. So I haven't really held myself back when it comes to this, yeah.
I would now...
I would like to add something to this. So I had this experience almost a year back that a patient came and his family members were telling like, ये तो schizophrenic है. And I was like, नहीं, ये schizophrenic नहीं है, इसको schizophrenia नाम की बीमारी है. ये schizophrenic है is a bad way to address that any person, right? ये diabetic है या ये किसी को fracture होता है हाथ में, तो आप ये fractured है नहीं बोलते हो, आप बोलते हो इसका हाथ fracture है, right? So I made a post around that let diagnosis not be a label. Let diagnosis be diagnosis, क्योंकि बीमारियाँ ठीक हो सकती है, उसके लिए हम कुछ कर सकते हैं. जब आप लेबल डाल देते हो, उसके ठीक होने के बाद भी लेबल रह जाता है, right? I made something around this, and there was so much hate comments in the comment section that no, my son is autistic and I would call him autistic. And then there was so many people coming up and they were like, how you are a mental health professional, how can you talk like this? You don't know there are some conditions like this, some conditions like that, which are lifelong, which become stigmatizing, which become traumatic. और मुझे ये realize हुआ उस दिन, it impacted me, it honestly impacted me because I had just started creating content. And I felt like, यार कितना डालना चाहिए? Like, क्योंकि again, जब आपको सब पता होता है ना, तो आपको उसके exceptions भी पता होता है. Right? But जब आप सोशल मीडिया पे 60 सेकेंड्स 90 सेकेंड्स की रील में बात करते हो, तो आप रेफरेंसेस नहीं डाल सकते कि ये CTP के इस पेज पे लिखा था, यहाँ से मैं बोल रहा हूँ, राइट? यू कांट कवर एवरीथिंग, बट दैट इज़ वेयर अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू क्रिएट कंटेंट ऑल्सो, क्योंकि हम डाउट करने लग जाते हैं. ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये तो कवर नहीं होता है, फिर इस चीज़ पे बात ही नहीं करनी चाहिए. फिर जो एक्चुअली रिलेट कर पाते हैं उनके लिए भी वो कंटेंट बन नहीं पाता. It impacted me very badly. I went and I spoke to one of my teachers. I told him कि सर ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है. It's like अभी तो वो सोशल मीडिया में क्या हो रहा है छोड़ दे, अभी उसका तेरे को इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है ना, कमेंट्स को ऑफ कर दे. I turned off commenting on that post. That post is still there, but I was like, let's move on. क्योंकि there would always be people who may not agree with our opinion, who might have a different perspective, who might have had different experiences, and हर किसी को अपना experience उतना ही valid लगता है. तो I really felt कि, but that was a learning for me, कि this should not discourage me, because I am trying to reach out to a larger mass. There might be one set of people who might not agree with what I am putting, or who might not have had same experiences. But कभी जब कोई patient आता है और बोलता है कि सर आपने वो जो बोला था ना, वो मेरे को बहुत सही लगा, और उसके बाद में मैंने खुद थेरेपी ट्राई किया, और उसके बाद में ना आज बहुत अच्छा लगता है. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर एक भी पेशेंट को इम्पैक्ट करता है, एक भी इंसान को इम्पैक्ट करता है, देन दैट कंटेंट इज वर्थ मेकिंग. एंड आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ अस वुड अग्री दैट वी नीड टू स्टॉप डाउटिंग आवर ओन कंटेंट्स.
So I was just thinking कि whatever sir said or maybe ma'am said, it's this perception of taking things personally came from I think our own parenting style. कि नहीं बुआ को नमस्ते करो चाहे बुरी हैं, चाचा जी को नमस्ते करो मे बी करनी चाहिए, मतलब बी अ पीपल प्लीजर. हमेशा ये सिखाया जाता है कि ठीक है बी अ पीपल प्लीज़र, इसको भी नमस्ते करो, अरे बेटा कोई बात नहीं है ना, इट्स ओके स्टिल बार बार मतलब इतने कांस्टेंट रिमाइंडर्स हमें बचपन से मिलते आ रहे हैं अबाउट दिस थिंग कि अगर जैसे हम सोशल मीडिया पे भी जाते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली दे आर सम पीपल हूज गोना हेट अस एनीवे. तुम कुछ भी बोलो, अगेन एज सर सेड कि 60 सेकंड में यार कितना रेफरेंस डाल लोगे, क्या कर लोगे. बट ऑन दी अदर हैंड हमें लगता है कि नहीं यार आई हैव टू बी परफेक्ट, सब कुछ बता देना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए. मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई ऑल्सो मेक रील्स, ठीक है, और उसके अंदर आई वॉज लाइक मतलब मुझे लोग बोलते हैं तुझे इतने घंटे कैसे लग जाते हैं एक रील बनाने में, मतलब, और मैं कह रही होती हूँ कि यार मैं पता नहीं घूमती रहती हूँ उसी के अंदर कि ये डाल दिया, अच्छा ये निकाल देते हैं, ये डाल देते हैं, ये निकाल देते हैं, इससे हम ये वाली बात भी बता पाएंगे, ये भी बात बता पाएंगे. और वन डे आई वाज लाइक कि डूड नहीं हो पाएगा, ऐसे तो मैं कर ही नहीं पाऊँगी. मतलब आई नीड टू वर्क ऑन माई सेल्फ कि यार हाउ आई टेक कॉमेंट्स, मतलब व्हाट आई यूजुअली डू, जो वैसे बेस्ट कमेंट्स होते हैं, बेस्ट रिप्लाईज आते हैं, आई टेक हाँ आई पिन दैम, आई टेक स्क्रीनशॉट, ठीक है, मैं स्क्रीनशॉट रख के अपनी गैलरी में सेव करती हूँ, मतलब दे आर माई फेवरेट्स. और वेन एवर आई फील लो और ऐसे थोड़ा डिसहार्टेंड, आई जस्ट गो थ्रू इट कि अरे ठीक है 10 लोग हैं बहुत है, 20 लोग हैं बहुत है, तो या.
A different perspective to it. I got exposed to hatred very early because I was a part of media. So I've been a part of a lot of television discussions and debates. So you guys know how debates are. So it's a live television debate. So somebody's shouting and there are two parties. So there's somebody's fans club who's writing comments on the YouTube. So I got exposed to it very early. The first time I was doing a television interview, I had put up a Facebook post saying I'm going on a live debate, please watch me. And a very dear friend of mine called me and he was like, looking at the topic, I think so-and-so person is going to be your panelist. I was like, yes. He was like, please don't go, come back home. He's going to tear you apart. And then I thought, I can actually not go, switch off my phone. Not that the media channel is going to wait for me. They're going to anyways go ahead with the show. And then I thought, okay, let me do it. Even if there is a lot of hatred, people will forget it in few months. And the best part is hatred has given me more courage to do better content, to go on, some topics which people don't really want to talk about. So that way, I think hatred should be, and probably since they're psychologists, I think practicing uncertainty is what we need to do. So once we start practicing things that you're not very comfortable with, you see a very better version of yourself, and that's what we should be looking at.
Sorry, I was just thinking that there's this one line that I believe in and I thought I'll share with you. लोग क्या सोचते ये भी हम ही सोचेंगे तो लोग क्या सोचेंगे.
Yeah, so I think one of the, we started this discussion with the need to be liked. And I think a basic rule that I have when I create anything online is you have to be honest to yourself. You have to be sure that this is what you actually want to put out. Because if you start giving people what you want, you're doing it for them instead of, for yourself. And working in men's mental health, it's very common to get a lot of colorful comments on my posts, and that's okay. That's okay. At least I know that what I'm saying it because I genuinely believe in it. I genuinely believe in what I'm saying, and I'm willing to back up what I'm saying with evidence as well. Then there is the question of pseudosciences in psychology, which is very prevalent, and there it doesn't matter if I get hate comments, right? Hate doesn't make it true. If you tell me that you can tell me my personality with my fingerprints, I know you can't. So like, say it all you want, it won't be true. So it's just about being honest to yourself and honest to your practice, which is ultimately what the rule of my content creation is.
Thank you. Am I audible in this? Yeah. So I just wanted to bring in some theory here because I'm a teacher and unconsciously it comes. So previously in some of the discussions before, there was some classification of the mind, and I just wanted to put forth some clarity that we have this conscious mind, which is active, we're alert about it. Then we have the subconscious, which some people refer to as preconscious, and then we have a huge bag of unconscious, right? So now let me go into the unconscious of the social media, which is hitting in the minds of the people who use it. So this question is twofold. One question is that you will have to select one peculiar case from your DMs, which you get on your social media, which has been a path-defining DM for you because that changed the course of your entire strategy of how to deal with the social media in terms of influencing. And second, since we have psychiatrists also here, Dr. Nand also here, we discuss this a lot. Social media is also referred to as mass psychiatry in some way. It deals with the wiring of the brain similar to addiction. Am I correct in this? If it deals with the mind in the same way as addiction, what are the withdrawal symptoms which people get, and what are the treatments available, and for the masses, how can we, psychologically come over it? Okay, so this is the other side of what we've been discussing. So, off to you all. Yes. Please start.
A couple of years back, when I put out my first, I'll just take the first part of the question because addiction is not my expertise. So when I put out my first video on men's mental health, I thought it wouldn't matter that much. It'll create some discussions, it'll make people a bit aware, and that's all I was going for. But I think a couple of months after that video went online, I got a DM from a guy saying, I thought there was something wrong with me as a person, but when I saw that video, I realized that I might have something else. I might have an illness. And that's when I decided that I should visit a therapist. And I think that hit me, like, oh shit, this is what I'm doing. I'm helping people realize that it's not their character's fault or their personality's fault what they're feeling. They might have something else as well. So all these tiny nuggets that you get of people just reaching out and telling you the kind of impact you have, that completely changes how you approach social media and what you put up on there. And that actually motivated me to be more honest about my own journey with clinical depression as well. Because after a person goes to a therapist, a first question is, what happens after this? How do I progress after this? Will this ever end? So answering those questions for the people ultimately helps a lot, because a basic rule of social media is 90% of the people won't ever respond. They won't do anything. They'll just look at it, see it, and go away. No likes, no comments, no shares, nothing. And it is those 90% of the people that you go for. You have an impact on those people.
I think I would definitely agree with him. Like, rather than influencers, we should be called impactors. Because no matter what we are doing, it leaves an impact even in everyday life as well as on social media. And that is for every one of us. I mean, you don't have to be a mental health professional. Anybody you are, जो भी आप put up करते हो, किसी न किसी पे उसका impact आता ही है. But most of the things that we see, and again I'm going into the second part that you asked, most of the things that we see, like sir said in the morning, कि आप cringe content भी डाल दो ना, लोगों को मज़ा आता है, और आपका Instagram algorithm आपको वही cringe content बार बार दिखाता है. I was recently listening to this Gujarati song. How many of you have heard Khalasi? Gotilo? Yeah. I listened to that song. I played it once in my phone. Next time I open Instagram, मेरे फ़ोन में 6 reels back to back है जिसमें सेम ही गाना यूज़ हो रहा है, right? तो हम हमारे साइड से पूछ रहे हैं कि how do we get rid of this addiction, right? But we can't get rid of that addiction by going to phone.
आज शाम को सबको mental health मिलेगा. Reels पे हर कोई जितना भी है, maybe आप में से किसी का भी आ सकता है. Okay, I wish, and that's gonna be there.
I'll say my name 2-3 times again.
Yes, it's gonna happen.
So that is what is happening. तो जो algorithm है, that is designed in a way that it is supposed to make you addicted. It is supposed to make you addicted. आप YouTube पे shorts है, Snapchat पे snaps है, Instagram पे reels है, reels भी छोटे छोटे होते जा रहे हैं, because उनको पता है कि आपका attention span जितना कम रहेगा उतना ज़्यादा data आप consume करोगे. And there are withdrawal signs. लोगों को नींद नहीं आती है रात को स्क्रॉल किए बिना, लोगों को चिड़चिड़ापन होने लग जाता है अगर उनका फ़ोन ज़्यादा देर तक उनसे दूर रख दो. एंड दिस इज़ हैपनिंग टू इवन अडल्ट्स. लेट्स नॉट इवन टॉक अबाउट किड्स. लेट अस नॉट इवन टॉक अबाउट किड्स हु आर वॉचिंग देयर सेल फोन्स वाइल दे आर इवन ईटिंग. वो तो जनरेशन जब यहाँ तक पहुँचेगी तो ये डेफिनेटली एक प्रॉपर इसका अलग से रिहैब मेडिकल क्या डिजिटल रिहैब सेंटर अलग से खोलने पड़ेंगे आई थिंक. सो दिस इज़ I don't know what we are trying to fight, because again वो जो traits है या फिर वो जो dependency होने की propensity है, that depends person to person, right? Instagram तो बस अपना काम कर रहा है. It's us who is using it more. It's us who is going back to it again and again and exploring more, checking more things, and that's what it is. Whatever you are asking for, it is providing to you, and that is what again a behavioral addiction.
How many of you all have done this, that you carry your phone to your washrooms and bathrooms and toilets, and लोगों को सुबह चाय के बिना, you know what doesn't happen? Some people without watching the reels, they're not able to, you know, carry on with their daily business, so it's going to that level of intensity. Thanks. You should make a reel on this.
सुबह 7 से 8 के बीच में सबसे ज़्यादा reels DM में आते हैं. सब दोस्त लोग यही करते हैं.
So talking about a DM that really helped me continue what I'm doing is there is this girl who's taking treatment from me. She and a mother come together, and the girl recently lost her father, and it's 2 women staying at home. One day she messaged me saying that, doctor, it's difficult to come and meet a doctor every day, but we see something from your side. We feel like you are a part of my house. We know that you're there for us. So that way, this medium is helpful. So continue what you're doing, and it can be something non-medical also. Your doctor, you're happy somewhere. You post something. We are so happy to see you, and we know that there is an access, and we can connect to you through this. But otherwise, the second question that you asked, a study done by the American Pediatric Association, where they took around thousands of children, their brains, and they studied for a period of 10 years, who've been exposed to electronic media and social media. Clearly they started seeing immense changes in the human brain. They saw some important areas of the human brain shrinking. So, important areas like the prefrontal cortex, when they're shrinking, that means, we are going behind in evolution. So if evolution is all about, a better prefrontal cortex, we are going backwards. And at the same time, the study clearly said that in those 10 years, what they saw in children is that, their communication skills were lesser, their aggression was more. They all, worked only on instant gratification, because, probably when, we were younger, we would wait for the advertisement to finish on a television channel. But now you skip the ad. So everything happens over a click. And children's brains are being conditioned that way, that everything happens over a click. And that is the scariest thing about social media. And behavioral addictions is the new thing in our textbooks. We've always had substance addictions, but now behavioral addictions have come out. Though social media addiction is not yet a diagnosis, I'm sure very soon that's also going to be a diagnosis. And gaming is there, internet is there. In a broader way, it is already there. And we know a lot of times when individuals are asked not to use their mobile phone for whatever reason, they speak about these withdrawal symptoms, like Dr. Ati said, sleep disturbances to irritability to that. I'm sure most of the youngsters know what FOMO is, that fear of missing out what's happening, and that building up a lot of anxiety. So undoubtedly this is, and the worst thing is, like suppose there is an addict who's a smoker. He would never smoke in front of his family at least. But this gadget is something that you use everywhere. It is accepted anywhere, and that does not let somebody really assess the severity of an individual's usage. And not having those kind of boundaries is also a very scary thing.
Right. This brings me to very closer to the next session also, which we will be having on the youth mental health. But the most important thing is in the age of practices like digital nannying. Digital nannying, because I'm bringing things from my thesis, okay, so don't, sounding smart, but no. The point is that when children don't eat, mothers have started doing a practice. How many of you witnessed this? That they put the child in front of the television or the phone and they're watching and they're eating. Do you expect this child to listen later on? If the food, the basic thing like food is paired with phones. Even in terms of the medical terms, there's something like phantom vibration. Sometimes you feel your phone is buzzing, but your phone is not with you. How many of you feel like that? So, okay, the reliability is quite good. Now, the point is this. These things are emerging and developing. Indian Pediatric Society has mentioned that children below the age of 2 should not be exposed to phone. Social छोड़ो, phone ही, screen से ही नहीं उनको करना है. And from 2 to 5, they have limited to less than 1 hour. So that guideline has come up very late in 2022, I guess, and now this is building up. So thanks a lot for all your insights onto this. I would request, I don't know if you all have done it by now, please follow them on Instagram. Please follow MHF_India because we are very short of 10K followers. Our contemporaries have reached till 30K. Not these, I mean other contemporary organization, but we are very silent and quiet कि हाँ आएंगे जिसको अच्छा लगेगा they'll follow, otherwise no. But we are following that, and we would want that you do a story on us and you do a live. हम तो सोचा था live करेंगे but वो हो नहीं पाया. And thanks a lot. So kudos to everyone, and I hope you all got something to take away from this session. And off to the organizers, I think. Thank you.
So, Mental Health Foundation of India is actually one space where we are actually talking about, there are qualified professionals coming and talking about the proper knowledge, textbook knowledge of evidence-based things, right? But वही होता है ना कि हम promote नहीं करते अपने आप को, and I don't know why, right? मेरे साथ भी हुआ. I felt like I started seeing these sponsored things in my Instagram कि हाँ, this reel has been boosted. And I felt like यार bullshit है ये क्या बोल रहा है, इसको समझ रहा है ये क्या बोल रहा है, और ये मेरे को क्यों दिखा रहा है, मैं mental health professional हूँ ना, why is it coming to me? Because that person probably in the advertisement he ran, he might have put psychology enthusiast को दिखेगा, तो वो मेरे तक आ गया. And I'll tell you what it was. Murder your anxiety in 30 days.
I'm sure the story's seen that, I guess.
Yeah. So what I did, I put it on my story, tag 20 different mental health professionals. I'm like, करो इसके post को murder करो. ये क्या हो रहा है? Right? So they have so much confidence. और हम जो actually अच्छा content बना रहे हैं, जो scientific evidence based knowledgeable चीजें बोल रहे हैं, which the actual light that should reach to people about mental health and psychology and all the things related to mental health, क्योंकि तुम दिया नहीं जला रहे हो, तुम लोगों को नहीं बोल रहे हो कि ये अच्छा पानी है, वो जाके बिस्लरी खरीदेंगे, क्योंकि उनको तो जो उनके फीड में आ गया वो तो उसको फॉलो करेंगे, वो तो उसको देखेंगे, वो तो चेक करेंगे, और उनको लगेगा कि 30 डेज में एंग्जाइटी मर्डर हो जाएगी, राइट? इसलिए मुझे ऐसा लगता है ऑनेस्टली, एंड आई वुड रेकमेंड दिस to, because being a psychiatrist, I think a lot of psychiatrists, and sir might agree with this, lot of psychiatrists don't know about Mental Health Foundation of India. And I am speaking on behalf of all of them that I think we need to strongly push forward the good work that we are doing. क्योंकि अगर हम पोडियम पर चढ़ के लोगों को नहीं दिखेंगे तो जो भी चढ़ा है लोग उसके पास जाने वाले हैं. And that is exactly why we need to take out that conception, जो भी हमारे दिमाग में cognitive distortions है marketing को लेकर. Sales के बारे में मत सोचो, marketing के बारे में सोचो. Let ourselves be visible, let ourselves be out there so that people can find right sources. And इतने कम professionals है actually field में. हम सिर्फ Instagram की बात करें ना, there is a big chunk of people who do not have access to phones, internet, Instagram. They do not have accounts. तो उन तक हम कैसे पहुंचेंगे? मेरे पास में अगर 6 लोग पहुंचते हैं तो मैं 5 को तो रेफर कर देता हूँ कि भैया मेरे से इतना हैंडल नहीं होने वाला. You can't. We also go through burnout. We also need our own space and time to be able to work on all the issues happening. So then, but because they reached out to me, I know कि who are the reliable people that I can send them to. And this is exactly how वो दिए से दिया जलाते हम लोगों को मेंटल हेल्थ का जो अवेयरनेस है वो ऐसे स्प्रेड करना पड़ेगा. सो आई थिंक वी शुड नॉट ओनली डिपेंड ऑन दीज पीपल टू रीच 10K. वी शुड मेक श्योर दैट people out there know about Mental Health Foundation of India and about good content that we found across.
यहाँ वाले कर देंगे तो 10K आज हो जाएगा. Please take out your Instagram and just follow it and make sure you make one person do it. So मैं बहुत नहीं बोल रहा हूँ.
That was a beautiful insight, and I loved the diya wala metaphor.
MHF_India.
Okay, thank you for this valuable, insightful dialogue. Okay. Oh, they're asking for your Instagram.
मैं तो MHF प्रमोट करूँगा.
Okay, so I am at _Night of Steel, KNIGHT of Steel, not STEAL, STEEL. तो बहुत confusing है, लेकिन _Night of Steel, ठीक है?
MHF_India. Mine is Dr. Maddy Rathi, DRMADDYRATHI.
What's yours? MHF_India. कर लिया सबने? Now हमारी बारी. Therapy by Sania. THERAPYBY, and Sania is SANIYA. Thank you.
MHF_India, and my ID is dr.virinchi Sharma, VIRINCHI SHARMA. Thank you.
Okay. MFHF_India.
स्टोरी लगानी पड़ेगी.
हाँ, नहीं, I did. And mine is Ekta Khurana, KHURANA_. That's it. Thank you.
That was a visual representation of Diya Se Diya Jalta Hai. Yeah. We request you to kindly remain on the stage and also invite Miss Ashima Narula ma'am, Alapti Singh ma'am, and Captain Vikas, Vice President of CSR Petronet Limited. We request Sanjay sir, Director and General Secretary of MHFI, to present a token of appreciation to our esteemed guest. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Palak, I want to have a sneak peek of your screen time.
My average, I think, screen time would be around 8 to 9 hours.
Oh my god, that is too much. Do you even get time for yourself?
That's a question. I don't think I have thought about it much, but does it even matter?
Okay then, this is a perfect opportunity for all of us present here to learn how we can once again reconnect with happiness in this digital world. For this, we welcome our young minds on youth panel, which would also be moderated by Mr. Abhinav Singh.
Welcome them with a huge round of applause.
The spirit of volunteerism doesn't go. I've been a volunteer since 2014, so organize bhi karna hai, moderate bhi karna hai, and that's how we all should be, making the plane while we're flying it. So that's the expression. So I warmly welcome all the young kids, and this panel is labeled as Youth Mental Health and Youth Panel, to be very technical in the terms. And the topic which we have decided for this is referred to as reconnecting with happiness, and you have to bring in your experiences of it and how methods and the challenges. So how we will do this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 young kids over here. So each one of you, what we will do is you will introduce yourself, your name and your school and your standard, and then you will talk about what is happiness for you, right? And then the methods to achieve it and the challenges which you account in the digital age, to be very specific, right? That's the topic. So, and if you have something else prepared for it, you can add that in also if you don't want to follow this format, but we will keep this as a general format. So ladies first, and if you have your mic ready, we can begin.
So I am Navya Prakash of Sunbeam School, Varuna. I am in 11th standard of Humanities stream. So talking about happiness, it depends on perspective first of all. Happiness is not a term which can be defined in few words. It can be different for everyone. For me, happiness is like when I accomplish my little goals which I set for today. Like, yeah, today's goal was to wake up early and I accomplished it. So I was happy. And according to different age groups, the happiness is different. Like when in childhood, the child's happiness is when mother is with him or her. And when we come to adulthood, it shifts to privacy and independence. And talking about like old age, it shifts to family and the quality time which we spend with our family.
Hello. Hello, my name is Ayush Sharma and I'm 18 years old. So for me, happiness वो नहीं है जो अभी हम सब सोचते हैं. जैसे हम चाहते हैं कि सोशल मीडिया के हिसाब से कि हमारे इतने फॉलोअर्स हो जाए या हमारी फ़ोटोज़ पे इतने लाइक्स आ जाए एंड वी थिंक वो हमको हैप्पीनेस देगा. बट क्या वो सच में हमको हैप्पीनेस देगा? बिकॉज कई सारे लोगों के पास इतने फॉलोअर्स है, इतने लाइक्स हैं, बट क्या वो सच में खुश हैं? सो इट डिपेंड्स. फॉर मी हैप्पीनेस इज़ बीइंग मेंटली फिट एंड फिज़िकली फिट. बिकॉज अगर हम मेंटली फिट और फिज़िकली फिट है ही नहीं तो हमको कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट या कोई भी पर्सन हमको खुशी नहीं दे सकता. वो सिर्फ एक टेम्पररी प्लेजर होगा और परमानेंट हैप्पीनेस के लिए वी शुड फोकस ऑन आवर मेंटल हेल्थ एंड फिजिकल हेल्थ. थैंक यू.
Hello, good evening. My name is Palak. ठीक है, मैं I'm 18 years old and I'm from Panipat. So happiness. बात कर रहे हैं, हम खुश हो जाते हैं ना, एक बार happiness की बात कर रहे हैं. Let's be happy. Smile. Yeah, great. Okay. So talking about happiness, for me, happiness is like it's not at all external. If you ask me, कि आपको किस चीज़ से हैप्पीनेस मिलती है, ये करके हैप्पीनेस मिलती है, वो करके हैप्पीनेस मिलती है, ठीक है, वो सब करके हैप्पीनेस मिल रही है, पर मुझे हैप्पीनेस मिलती है टू नो व्हेन आई गेट टू नो माई सेल्फ अ लिटिल बिट मोर एवरी टाइम आई डू समथिंग. Not because I am doing something and achieving that, that's why I am happy. I am happy because I did that and I got to know something about myself, I reflected that, and that's why I am happy. Thank you so much. That really makes me like anything which makes me closer to myself is something that makes me happy. And I believe it कि अगर हमें साइकोलॉजी को इन डेप्थ स्टडी करना है तो हमें स्पिरिचुअलिटी को धारण करना ही पड़ेगा. देयर इज नो अदर वे. देयर इज नो अदर वे. बिकॉज स्पिरिचुअलिटी टेक्स ऑल ऑफ इट, योर माइंड, योर बॉडी एंड योर हार्ट. लाइक इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम योर बॉडी. अनलेस फिजिकल हेल्थ, फिजिकली आप हेल्दी नहीं हो, आप अच्छा फील नहीं कर रहे हो, आप माइंड तक पहुंच के कुछ नहीं कर सकते. उसके बाद you reach mind, you study mind, what are all these concepts which are being talked about in psychology and all that. There's also a third stage which is soul. Okay, that we need to talk about, like we all need to talk about it. वो अगर हम स्कूल में बताने लगे कि there's a third thing, and if it is a first thing that a child adopts, कि what is soul, what is he that he is, तो I don't think problems I think problems like 90% तक कम हो सकती हैं एक person की life में when he goes on ahead with his life. Because like tell me honestly, 90% of our problems that we have, it's because of our own mind. वो external नहीं होती हैं, वो internal होती हैं. If that can be treated, if we all can take it seriously, if that can be treated from a very early age, I think we all can have a much better society and live happily and smile all the time. जैसे हमने अभी 2 सेकंड के लिए किया, एक और बार 2 सेकंड के लिए करते हैं, ठीक है? Yes, thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Khushi, and I represent Modern Delhi International School, Faridabad. My name is Khushi. 17 years with the name, and there's one thing I've always heard. तुम कभी दुखी होती हो क्या? खुशी हो, थोड़ी खुश रहा करो. And it makes a lot of sense. I have been gifted with such a beautiful name, Khushi, which should be spread everywhere, which brings out our best selves. And like a lot of people before us said, like Nayab ma'am said, khush raho. If we talk about what actually happiness is, it's not a quantitative term. We can't measure happiness. हाँ ठीक है, बोल सकते हो कि I'm less happy, you are more happy. But can we actually measure it? No matter how much experience you have, no matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you gain. I doubt any one of us, any of our professors, any of our esteemed people here even, could measure the amount of happiness. It's all qualitative. Like my fellow here said, it's internal. And over the course of age, over the course of time, it changes. It starts at a child with,
being around their parents, being gifted a little something, it makes them happy because they felt heard. For us teenagers here, for the whole Gen Z thing that is going on, we are Generation Z. For us, happiness has been largely influenced by social media. But Generation Z is also much known for talking about mental health. We're much known for talking about what makes us happy, what things should be promoted to make everyone happy. We're taught about acceptance for who we are. We're taught about yet, accepting who you are yourself, yet accepting who others are. It starts with oneself to get it, yet to give it. If I accept who I am, if I accept who my fellow peers here are, that is what happiness is for me, and that is what happiness would be for them. I think it is the hope and the faith, the love that you have to give to yourself, first of all, and then to give to others, is what happiness is. Because at the end of the day, थोड़ी खुशी तो सबको बांटनी चाहिए ना.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sanvi from class 12th. I study at Sunbeam School, Lehertara. So if we talk about happiness, according to me, happiness is something which we necessarily do not require, but it comes itself. Like if we are attending this event, if it was your dream, so yeah, you are happy. Achieving any of your dream or achieving any of your goals makes you happy, it's universal. But according to me, maintaining happiness in the age of social media and widespread smartphone usage can be challenging. But it is certainly possible through some conscious efforts and several strategies. Like social media dependency can really impact on a student's mental health severely with few strategies which has to be mitigated. Like we should limit our screen time by we can control or monitor ourselves with social media and smartphone usage. And we can set goals for our future achievements. We can prioritize our real life interactions, such as spending more of our quality time with friends and family. So happiness basically we do not require, but we have to we can say aspire or something. But yes, be happy. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bhavya from Rohini, and I would like to directly answer the question, what is happiness? For me, personally, happiness can... So personally, happiness for me can be either be making my friends laugh with my stupid jokes, or it can be representing my school on an higher level. It can be just spending time with my loved ones, or it can be being at a given a huge responsibility, like coming here and representing my school. So I would like to say happiness सबके लिए अलग होती है, लेकिन happiness deserve तो हर कोई करता है. तो हमें इस चीज़ पे भी ध्यान देना चाहिए कि हम खुद ये जाने कि हमें happiness मिलती किस चीज़ से है. तो आई थिंक हमारा यूथ और हैप्पी रहेगा अगर उन्हें खुद पता होगा कि हम है कौन और हमें हैप्पीनेस एक्चुअली मिलती किस चीज़ से. दैट्स इट.
Hello. First of all, my name is Saksham Arora. I am in class 11th from Mamta Modern School. Meaning of happiness has always been subjective, I guess. Some says maturity is when you realize that there is no happiness left. It's the only stress management you are left with. Other says happiness is the only thing which curbs stress we have. So either we have to manage our stress or either we have to stay happy all the time. And in both the case, it's not possible. Sometimes it's our corporate overload work. Sometimes it's our academic overflow burden of studies. And sometimes it's our relationship issues with our so-called, namely friends or so-called relatives, which we either give space to them. But in that, they just do our bullying. They just does our leg pulling. And in that case also, that is also subjective. Some likes the time spent in the matter their legs are getting pulled. But in another case also, person gets also demotivated that how he or she is getting bullied by his relatives. The person he or she trusts is the most keen important factor to trust anyone. The next important thing comes the digital age. We might be agreeing that to reduce the screen time, to less have usage of social apps like Insta. Earlier it was TikTok, which was having increased screen times for the short videos. But now we are not denying the fact that everyone is using Instagram. But we are saying to reduce Instagram usage, as in not to be jealous, not to feel FOMO out of anyone. Some few likes that her outfit or his outfit is more attractable than my own body. This is not the thing, but it comes out of the jealousy. Some says jealousy is the only happiness we feel out of anyone. These some of the people are the one who are not happy themselves. They are just finding happiness, the dead silence between each other. And for things to work out, one should do meditate. Like she already told, the spiritual sense for someone is the only thing that he should be focusing on for having a peace of mind. In my case, I jotted down my points. I did some journal writing like 2 or 3 years ago when my grades were coming less. They were not up to the mark according to my expectations. So my father told me to write down some of the day events that might feel. Every time I'm not comfortable talking with anyone, there's a chance that I might not be able to open up with my father, my mother, or even my friends. It's just the privacy, personal things that we feel that someone should be able to listen, to know. So I was jotting down my points in a journal, and each day I was thankful to the God that what I've achieved today. Like, have I spoken 2 or 3 words more fluently of vocabulary? That am I doing a more push-up, or am I running a 10-meter more? Like, it's a small progress, but it's for me was the heaven, I must say. Thank you. Doing workout is also one of the main stress reliever, the stress busters. When you work out, if I may be wrong, please pardon it. The hormones, dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. Thank you. Endorphins, these release, and these are the key factors for reducing stress levels. And but in order to that, some also gets jealous with this also. Either they are not getting progress, either they are not getting some more likes. But again, this is a path of life, and you will surely reach your success levels. Happiness, I must say, is also subjective. If you wish to be happy, you will be more happy than yourself you ever would be. But if you feel that you are always demotivated, that no one will come and talk to you, listen a word out of you, so believe me, boss, no one would be able to help you. You are the only person who should be listening to yourself. Keep your dreams alive. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for sharing their insights onto this. Now, I will just, in the remaining time, I just need one round for those who wish to express. What are the barriers and challenges to happiness? So, I repeat myself, what are the barriers and challenges to happiness? If you have already included into your narrative, then it's fine. If you have not, then if some of you would like to get into it, if she can go and then you can go, is that, or you can switch this idea.
So like Saksham previously mentioned about, all these social media apps, can we, by a show of hands, tell how many of you have heard of the word called FOMO, F-O-M-O, in the audience, please? Wonderful, lovely. So for those who do not know, FOMO means the fear of missing out. It's once again a Gen Z slang. The FOMO these days that surrounds social media is concerned with people who are on social media and who aren't on social media. I got to interact with these peers back on stage, and I learned that some of us aren't frequent users of social media like myself. Some of us are on certain social media platforms. Some of us have a very restricted screen time. With a world that is constantly revolving around, it's evolving, it's ever changing with all these new trends coming up, spread primarily through social media. We have this fear, this subconscious or unconscious fear, you call it, of missing something out. Oh my God, this thing happened. How did I not know? Bro, come on, it was on Insta. Why didn't you see it? I'm not on Insta. Oh, I saw her story, but I didn't think any of it. You should read more into it, yaar. You've been on Insta for so long. These are two instances where someone is on social media and where someone isn't on social media. Both these people are some or the other way having a fear of missing out. In the first very case, a news, or in the second case, an incident. If we advocate the fact that completely everyone should just detach themselves from social media, it's a very idealistic thing and it cannot happen. You and I, we might like for it to happen, but it can't. Why? Because our generations, the Generation Z, us as students, we rely solely on these platforms for all our sorts of news. I got to know about MFH on social media. We get to know the smallest of news to the biggest of things, that if an earthquake happened, it was on Insta. So to think of the fact that we can detach ourselves from social media, that it will help our mental health, is a myth. And I can attest for it as an infrequent social media user that, yes, it might significantly impact your mental health, but it's not the sole contributor. If we talk about how it significantly impacts your mental health and how to, get rid of those stressors, those things that cause anxieties and those things that lead to depression, we have to understand the challenge in front of us properly. We have had a lot of panelists before us and a lot of speakers before us spread out such wonderful messages. We got to know about them through social media. But we also get to learn information that is misinformation, like Shruti ma'am previously said, and things here were mentioned. Spreading of misinformation regarding psychology. I believe, especially for school students, us as the future generation, us as people who are literate and who are learning, we should take it upon our hands to stop spreading such information, to stop advocating such information. If I, for one, know that what is posted up here is meaningless, it is senseless, I could simply report the post. If there is some bizarre psychology fact that is not scientifically proven, yet people are taking it like anything, yet people are accepting it like anything, it is affecting people like anything, it doesn't take me a lot to report it, but it might help another person if they don't get to hear the news. If people here know anything, even a little about psychology, you would have heard, you cannot unhear anything or you cannot unimagine anything. If I say the word elephant, you will imagine the word elephant. So when it comes to social media, the simplest thing that we can do is not hear these things. We can clear up our feeds. We can remove any sort of information, any sort of misinformation that might seek in. Because as algorithms, they were previously mentioned on social media, our algorithms are dependent upon our activities. If we promote healthy activities on our personal social media accounts, those unhealthy behaviors will not be inculcated. That is what I want to say when it comes to the mental health of students, especially concerning social media. We must take it upon ourselves to stop spreading misinformation, to not even start with it. That would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think
So as Khushi mentioned, social media is one of the aspects which stands as a barrier in the way of happiness. But it's not everything. Other things are also there, like the food habits we are adopting, the sleeping routine, the day as a sleeping time and the night as the day treating time. It's very different. So our body is not adaptable to that. So our mind is not functioning properly, like it should do certain things on certain time, but it's taking time to adapt the things. So social media is one of the aspects and other aspects are also there.
I want to address her point. As she said that, you know, we are the people, some of us are the people who use social media and some of us are the people who don't use social media. तो हो क्या रहा है कि जो social media use कर रहे हैं, they are generating FOMO to those who are not using social media, as in because I don't use it, so as in I am feeling the FOMO because they are discussing things that I don't know. And on the other hand, there's also an opposite side of this thing, कि जो use नहीं कर रहे हैं social media, even I sometimes, go and talk to the people who use social media कि क्या तुम्हारी productivity कम नहीं हो रही क्या इससे? So we both, what are we doing? We are trying to demoralize each other, not trying to see why is it happening, what is happening. Okay, why is it what is? जो है वो है, ठीक है? So first thing was that, and then you asked about the barriers of happiness. So इस पे मेरे को एक quote याद आया. It's from J. Krishnamurti. I quote it that I am the world and the world is me. ठीक है? तो how does it connect with this? Happiness के जो barriers हैं, if I say that it's all in me, then it's problematic. If I say that it's all outside, then it's problematic. The thing is that I am a part of society and society has become because I exist. So what one needs to do is to see the society as what I think, that what should be done by us. To see the society, how it operates, then to reflect that how it's operating within me, what's operating in the society. That's when because understanding makes it all. If I'll start to understand certain things, it will dissolve by itself. I've seen this, कि अगर समझते चले जाते हैं चीज़ों को तो उनके solutions निकालने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है. Because problem is the solution. Sometimes in psychological matters, this is the thing that the problem itself is the solution. ठीक है, तो you just have to do nothing and understand what is happening and things will get solved out by themselves. I believe it and I'm doing it and I'll continue to do it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. As Khushi mentioned FOMO and Palak also mentioned FOMO. So yeah, like mental health is also affected. Like in isolation, people go in isolation. Like by replacing people from offline to online mode, like they reject from taking pleasure, and people also are affected by cyber harassments, social anxiety and depression. They also procrastinate in every activity to do. So the main key to the digital age is the maintaining well-being and our technological benefits. So basically maintaining happiness is challenging, but it is certainly possible through some conscious efforts and strategies.
Thank you. Actually, the word which comes to my head is digital hygiene, and that I think is balancing everything together. Anybody else would like to add the last? Yes, please. You both can go one by one. Yeah.
So I would like to say that one more point is even important than these ones. It's not about how much you use your phones or social media. It's how you use it. If you're scrolling reels all day long and learning nothing from them, then you're basically just wasting your time. You should rather do something more productive. And I think if our education system also taught us things like digital detox or mindful usage of our phones, our social media, then I think our youth will be a lot more happier and much more productive. Thank you.
Comparing 2015 with today, when Instagram was not at boom, when online friends were usually lesser, and offline friends, the friends we meet at school, colleges, offices, institutions, parks, were more. At that time, social connects were more than the online connects. But after, due to the unknowing pandemic which went, we have been changing our medium of conversation from offline to online. Because of that, there is a term also coming, loneliness. We are getting affected by it. If someone says, I am lonely, then it feels like I'm a loner person. I stay only by myself. But at this age, at this time, loneliness also means having more than online friends, getting harassed by your offline friends, or getting some negative effects from other offline peoples, that you are getting switched from online friends and you are not getting attached to any of them because of the trust issues you faced. Because this is the only thing, we have lost our social touch. We are moving towards digital. We have surely moved to UPI, but feel that note, feel that texture of that 500 rupees note that you give to that vendor, that you give to that smile on the vendor's face, that keen happiness you feel. It's the thing you are only paying that you have bought from him. But it feels like you have done such a nice work to anyone that you are running his house. Like it's human thing only. We all feel that we are doing any help to anyone, but we are making out of work only. So in order to getting depressed, in order to getting lonely, stop being online all day. Be social, talk to friends. If you are not able to talk, if you are not able to open up easily, start with hi. It's no harm to make new friends. It's no harm to start a new stanza in your life. It's only a new passage. It's only a new road. It's not like a Robert Frost that you have to choose between the two roads. It's only your choice, what you have to choose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Plausible conversations which went on. Now, I would just like to bind it all together and move towards a very consolidated manner. So, when I teach my students at university, so Delhi University has started this course called Art of Being Happy. Anybody from Delhi University here? So you have this VAC course, which is another burden though, but anyways, it's called Art of Being Happy, and there are many more, okay? And the first conversation in the class starts like this only, and then, abhi mera wo class chal hi raha tha, if I would have been at the college. So one reading which we refer, which I just wanted to share, I don't know if you have read it, it's called Understanding Happiness from a Vedantic Perspective, right? Which ma'am has mentioned, I think Palak is your name, right? What Palak has mentioned very much aligns with it. It talks about that there is Sukh, there is Anand, and there is Brahmanand. So, when you were saying that ki, happiness ki limits and you defining it, it says that from limited scope of happiness to unlimited and everlasting modes of happiness is possible in the Indian tradition. In the Western traditions, we take about the hedonic perspective in which pain and pleasure are being compared, and eudaimonic perspective also, that we want to seek our inner self and inner purpose. But Indian tradition and the Vedantic perspective have gone way ahead. They call that we have 5 layers of ourselves, or sheets or koshas, and the innermost is Anandamay Kosh. So when you say that my innermost coast is being happy, or my child, when we talk about a small child, generally they are in a very, very cheerful and a nice state. That is the basic reason we kept youth panel and we invited school students, because I would have done it that adults can talk about happiness, but I am not sure they have done a successful task in doing that. But I think you are just in the nature's grasp right now, and what insights you have given are very much in tone with what the happiness and reality is. And I'm really, really thankful, because when I was of your age, I was not this vocal about these things. It took me my time and turn. I faced these issues with following social media and not following social media. When I came from Jaipur to Delhi, I felt like Delhi wale bacche to already social media pe hain. मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता कि group के भी groups बन सकते हैं, and they are talking about it. So वो तो मुझे बहुत बाद में समझ में आया. Anyways, I'm thankful कि मुझे नहीं समझ में आया. उस time I was concentrating on something else, but अब वो option नहीं है. Now you have to be in all of it. And I hope, since last year when we did the youth panel, one of the kids went on and did some book or something, and came out with a project. I encourage all of you to work together, or individually. We can work with MHF also and come up with a piece of literature which maybe poem, maybe a book, maybe something which you want us to represent on happiness, on mental health and your experiences. And with that, I think you want to add something to this?
I just wanted to sum up the points everyone has given here.
Sure.
Just to quote a few, like Saksham started with his journey of journaling, which once again helps us discover ourselves, exercise, and understanding oneself and one's soul and one's subconscious, like Palak mentioned, or like I mentioned, just detoxifying oneself, one's social media, and increasing our productive activities while on screen time. So those are the key important takeaways when concerning ourselves and our generation with the social media. That would be it.
Thank you. Wonderful. Actually, I should have requested you to summarize. So, and also very rightly, and as championed by Dr. Nand, the biopsychosocial and spiritual model of health. Bio, psycho, social, and spiritual. So, biopsychosocial model was by George Engel. Spiritual, we Indians have added. And this is the complete thing. This is in comparison to the biomedical model. Okay, so now psychiatrists are moving from biomedical to including biopsychosocial and spiritual model of health. And with this point, I would like to end, and thanks a lot to all the young minds, and a huge round of applause. Yes, you can hoot also, it's fine. Yes, and yes. And you should also come up with great stories and do tag us on Instagram and follow us. And then you also should not use social media till you're in college. And if you want, you can go and use LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is better. Okay? LinkedIn is more fruitful. Connections. You can connect with all of us, Amateur sir and everybody. We will be happy to connect. Thank you. Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing your insightful thoughts. I'm sure that हर किसी के ऊपर कोई ना कोई impact ज़रूर छोड़ा होगा आपकी बातों ने. And with this, we would like to call Dr. Nand Kumar and Meeta Mishra, Director MHFI, to extend token of appreciation to our young minds.
Guys, we would like you to stay back because we have a activity planned in the foyer and we'll introduce it in a while. Just wait for a second.
You have such a huge knowledge from where you got it. Honor being here, sir. Yes, sir. Hi.
We all can line up.
Sir and ma'am, we would really like and request you to facilitate a moderator as well.
So proud of you, Aruna.
Thank you so much. We have figured out from our previous activities that you guys love art. And that's why we would request you to move to the foyer area for Neeraj Mishra Sir, Spill It Out activity, and don't leave already because we have a musical event planned for you. Thank you. Please move to the foyer area.